Thanks for watching Mid-Morning this Friday. As many people celebrate Easter and Passover this week, it's a chance for pollsters to take a pulse of religion in the U.S.
For the first time ever, Gallup found fewer than half of Americans say they belong to a house of worship, whether that be a synagogue, a mosque, or a church. So why is membership falling? It's something that it's really interesting. I know you asked the question, as people get older, or start their families, maybe they kind of look to return to religion if they left when they were younger.
So that's an interesting thing that you bring up there. It's called the life cycle of religion, and for a long time that's how it worked here in the U.S. is that younger people weren't quite as religious, but once they got married and had some kids, then they would come back around. Well, in the past 20 years, that's really changed here in the U.S. as people are getting married later, as they are having kids later, some people not having kids. And so the experts will tell you, look, if you have gone 10, 15 years, you found your groups, you sort of found your thing, you're less likely to return to religion.
And thoughts about organized religion, some people sort of say, is it connected to politics? And they find themselves questioning whether or not that's something they want to be a part of.
So this is another look at where, you talk about that 47%, that less than half of people say that they belong to a house of worship. And it's pretty even across whether it's a synagogue, a mosque, or a church. But if you look at where that drop is coming from, it's more so in people who are maybe only sort of moderately religious, maybe people who are more liberal. And what they're telling the researchers is that, look, religion seems really politicized right now. It's not something that I necessarily want me or my family to be a part of. So that's where you're seeing some of that change.
And what people are looking for in a church is changing too. They're not just going for religion. Their mega churches are seeing an increase because people are also looking at programming and what else can they offer a family.
Yeah, I thought this was really interesting too, because yes, you look at people and how they attach to traditional organizations. And while we're seeing fewer and people attaching to those organizations, you are seeing some churches do really well. These mega churches that you hear about that have thousands and thousands of members, those actually are growing there. And part of it is because they have so many people, so much staff, they have a lot more programming. You also see multi-ethnic churches really growing in popularity here. We talked with a lead pastor over at the Sanctuary Covenant Church in North Minneapolis. And after George Floyd died in May, they saw thousands of people flock to their church to do volunteer activities. And those people a lot of them are still sticking around. And so that's where these trends, you have to dig a little deeper, like always, Shayla, when you're looking at the data.
Yeah, and what part of this really surprised you the most to learn in this particular piece?
So one of the things I think was that even though we are seeing these numbers go down, people are still consider themselves religious. You still have 75% of people who still consider themselves religious. This just may be the loosening of your attachment to an official organization. So you might view religion in a different way. It just might not be that you are connected to a church or a mosque or a synagogue. So all just interesting things to think about as we approach what is it's a very religious week here with Easter and Passover.
Absolutely, and interesting findings to see how people still find ways to incorporate religion, even if they're doing it in a different way.